For today's video of the TryHackMe journey, I covered the HTTP in detail room. If you enjoy the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. When we access a website, your browser will need to make requests to a web server for assets such as HTML, images, and download the responses. Before that, you need to tell the browser specifically how and where to access these resources. This is where URLs will help. What is a URL? Uniform Resource Locator. If you use the internet, you use a URL before. A URL is predominantly an instruction on how to access a resource on the internet. This below image shows the URL, what it looks like, and some of the features it have in a request. You get the scheme: HTTP, semicolon, password at TryHackMe, that's the host and domain. TryHackMe, port 80, path, view room, query string, ID equal 1, the fragment, the hashtag tags 3. The scheme instructs what protocol to use for accessing a resource such as HTTPS, FTP, which is the file transfer protocol. Then, let me see. Beautiful. Then you have the user. The user, some services require authentication to log in. You can put a username, password into the URL to log in. Then you have the host, the domain name, or the IP address of the server you wish to access, like how this is TryHackMe. Then you got the port. The port is where you're going, where you're connecting to. This can be hosted on port from 1 to 65,535. The path, the file name, or the location of the resource you're trying to access. The query, a bit of information that's sent on to the requested path. For example, blog ID 1 will tell the blog page that you wish to receive the blog article with the ID of 1. Fragment. This is a reference to the location on the actual page requested. This is commonly used for pages with long content and can have a certain path of the page directly linked to it, so it's visible to the user as soon as they access the page. Fragments. Making a request. It's possible to make a request to a web server, just use one line. Get HTTP 1.1. The request method. Get the page being requested / the HTTP protocol version HTTP1. For a bit more richer web experience, you need to send other data as well. This other data sent is what's called headers, which headers contain extra information to give the web server that you're communicating with. We'll go more into the header tags. To break down line of request, the request is sending the get method. More on this in the HTTP method task. Request the home page with telling the web server we are using HTTP protocol 1.1. Get HTTP1. We got the host, we got the reference user, and then we got the agent, the user agent, then we got the referer. We tell the web server we're using Firefox. Okay. We are telling the web server that the web page referred to is, HTTPS web blank line. And it's finished. Welcome. To break down each line of the request, HTTP1 is the version of the HTTP protocol of the server is using, then followed by HTTP service code, in this case 200 OK, which tells the requests have been completely successful. This tells us the web server software and version number, the current date, time zone of the web server, the content type. Header tells the client what sort of information is going to be sent, such as HTML, images, videos, PDF, XML. Content link that tells the client how long the request is. This way we can confirm no data is missing. HTTP request contains a blank line to confirm the line of HTTP request. This information has been requested in the instance homepage. That's what that is. Okay. Which HTTP protocol is being used in the example above? Oh my goodness, I'm wrong for HTTP / 1.1. What response header tells the browser how much data to expect? Which response header kind content link. I don't think that's what they're asking either though. Oh, it was. Okay. Let's keep going. This one's short, that's player. HTTP methods are a way for clients to show their intended actions when making an HTTP request. There are a lot of HTTP methods, but we are only common ones, although mostly you deal with GET and POST methods. GET request. This is used for getting information from a web server. POST request. This is used for submitting data to the web server and potentially creating new records. Put request. This is used for submitting data to a web server to update information. Delete request. This is used for deleting information records from a web server. What method would be used to create a new user account? Post. What method would be used to update your email address? Put. What method would be used to remove a picture you uploaded to your account? Delete. What method would you use to view a news article? Get. Beautiful. Okay. This is a ton of reading. What response code might you receive if you create a new user on a blog or a post article? If you create one, these are all response codes. I know what the service codes are. So let's see. Created 201. What response code you might receive if you try to access a page that doesn't exist? 404. What response code you might receive if a web server cannot access a database and the application crashes? And it crashed. Client error. There's an error with the request. Maybe that's not what they're asking for. I know that's what 400, but it crashed. Is it 503? It was. What response codes you might receive if you try to add your profile while logging in first? 401? It was a 401. Headers are additional bits of data you can send to a web server when making requests. Although no headers are strictly required when making a HTTP request, you find it difficult to view a website properly. Let me read this. Common request headers. These headers that are sent from the client, usually your browser to server. Host. Some web servers host multiple websites, so by providing the host headers, you can tell it which one you're required. Otherwise, you would just receive the default web page. User agent. This is a browser software and version number telling the web server your browser software helps it format the website properly for your browser. Also, some element of HTML, JavaScript, and CSS are only available in certain browsers. When sending data to a web server, such as in a form, the content link tells the web server how much data to expect in a web request. This way, the server can ensure it isn't missing any data. Accept encoding tells the web server what type of compression methods the browser supports, so the data can be made smaller for transmitting over the internet. Cookie. Data sent to the server to help remember your information. See cookie tags for information. Set cookies. Information to store which gets sent back to the web server on each request. See cookies. Okay, we've seen that. Cache control. How long the store of content of the response in the data cache before a request again? Okay. Content type. This tells the client what type of data is being returned. An example, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, images, PDF, videos, etc. Using the content type header, the browser then knows how to process the data. Content encoding. What method has been used to suppress the data to make it smaller when sending it over the internet? The header tells the web server what browser is being